This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Hey, y'all, and welcome to another episode of the Millennial Management Podcast. I am your host, Brandi, the Millennial Manager, and today is Monday. It is an email episode. If you are inside of Patreon, you are listening to this after you have listened to the Monday motivation or to our Motivation Monday quote of the day, and we're going to be doing an email episode today because I have quite a few that we have not done. So I want to make sure that we get to those. And I feel like I'm shaking my camera. So let me back up a little bit. Okay. So I want to get right into a reminder for you guys to go and listen to the Black Friday podcast. If you are inside of Patreon, I shared the link there. Also, it was in my stories. It's on my Instagram. I believe it's on my TikTok as well. Black Friday podcast, I did an interview talking about management, just some things that I learned since being in management, and then also just qualities that I feel like I kind of already had. I just kind of needed to be, pushed in the right direction. And that's exactly what we discussed on that episode. So if you have not listened to my interview on Black Friday podcast, I suggest you go over to Apple after you're done here and listen to Black Friday. Okay. Thank you very much. I hope y'all enjoyed your weekend as well. And let's get started. So this one says, "Good morning, Brandi. Hello. How are you?" My name is Betty because we keep it cute around here. My name is Betty. I'm a licensed insurance broker for Medicare. Okay. I'll be at my current place of employment in September for 2 years. I applied 2 times and overlooked several of the leadership positions. Therefore, the senior management isn't looking for my qualifications. I've been listening to you and stopped applying for positions. Then several weeks later, I had my yearly review, and the owner asked if I would be interested in applying for a leadership position. I declined. The look on their faces in the meeting was flabbergasted. Also, I did mention that I've been with the company for 2 years without a raise and felt I was qualified for one, but the owner declined it. Unbelievable. But then you want me to take on more work. Okay. Oh my God. I got a mark on my wall from my big chair. Let's continue. It says, recently the company that I worked for was placed on a PIP by Medicare. Ooh. Oh my God. This week I was found it to have received a founded complaint, and I was given a PIP. I'm devastated. To make matters worse, I found out that my management team lost part of my recorded sale. Oh my God, which gave me this founded complaint for the Medicare Advantage carrier because 3/4 of the recording was present and the main core of the verification was mysteriously gone. I requested a meeting with the office manager and said that I felt I was uncomfortable. I think you said under comfortable. I felt like I was uncomfortable signing my PIP. Then the company lost the only verification part from my sales recording me and felt that the company didn't fight for me. In closing, I stated in the meeting that if the owner doesn't want me any longer with the company, he can give me a severance package. Betty, you told them that? You told them? You told them that? Listen. Listen. Sometimes it's good for us to just know that they don't give a fuck about us and they're going to keep overlooking us every time we apply for positions, just like you came to that realization that, hey, I have applied for several positions. I've been with the company for 2 years. I'm filling in these roles, but I clearly am not the person that y'all are looking for. And then they do this like dangling carrot thing in front of you, just like we talked about on social media, and being like, apply for it. I think you'll be a good fit and all this other stuff, when you know in reality that I have applied for these positions. You know that I'm the qualified person because you keep having me work this position when there's no one here. And then when I interview for this position, nothing. I don't get offers. I am either, or the person that y'all bring in is someone from the outside, not someone who has worked for the organization. It's such a big slap in the face. You came to that realization. Sometimes you don't need to say anything. You understand? I want you to shut the hell up. Okay, Miss Patty? Do you hear me? I want you to shut the hell up. Everything does not have to be communicated. Everything don't have to be said. As long as you know that they on some bullshit, you don't have to say it. Don't initiate a termination. They're not going to give you a severance. You only been there for 2 years. Like, they can find any reason. They already put you on a PIP. They can say your performance is an issue. That call, maybe you're having issues with communication in the background, whatever. They can literally make up whatever it is. And because of the situation, maybe you just need to know that for yourself, unless you got something lined up. So what I'm saying is we don't want to initiate an early termination just because we can't keep our mouth shut. Sometimes we need to know that this is some bullshit, and we need to understand that this is some bullshit, and we don't have to communicate it anymore because we know that. We know that they full of shit, and move on. But don't let them make you move on before it's time. Because if you're not ready, you just call their bluff. What you think that motherfucker gonna do? He gonna make good. He gonna make good on the warning. Well, let's not have her here. And even when he said something to you in the meeting that you all had, and he was like, yeah, I think you'll be a great fit. Yeah, possibly. No. I'm not a good fit. This is where I want to tell y'all, like, I don't know if y'all remember when Keeping It Real Goes Wrong from Dave Chappelle. It was a skit that he did on his show about where keeping it real goes wrong. Everything that you think don't have to be said. You understand? You don't have to say it. Just think it. Thunk the thought. You don't have to communicate it verbally. You can kind of play that game to buy yourself time, because we don't ever want to be pushed out of a position before we're ready, before we're actually having things lined up, before we have other opportunities, interviews, whatever. You want to be very careful with that and not put yourself in a position where you are struggling to take care of yourself. You don't ever want to do that. You understand? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to shut up, stop sharing our opinions because we know what this situation is, and we're going to look outward, okay, for other opportunities to turn into management, whatever. But you're going to have to start being careful about the things that you say in the workplace, no matter where you work. If you stay with this company or you go work somewhere else, you are going to have to be very mindful about the things that you communicate inside of the workplace. And remember, your authentic self is not welcome there. Okay? As much as people want to say it is, it's not. Nobody gives a fuck that I'm a mother and that I'm, I have these kids and all. They don't give a fuck about that. They want to know what I can do. Can you do the job or not? That's all that matters. All this other shit is just extra. So once you realize that, you'll be able to maneuver and not take things personally. They just did not want you for the job. Move on. There are other jobs. There are other opportunities. But the issue here is that I feel like you have taken it as a personal attack because of what has happened, and rightfully so. But even things that are meant to be a personal attack against you, you don't have to absorb that. You don't have to receive that information. You don't have to take that on because that's not your responsibility. That's theirs. If they have a fucking problem with you, tell them to do something about it. Okay? Like, oh my God. Like, or let them do something about it. You've applied for the position. They don't want you. You can move on. It's a business decision. And you have to realize that, hey, I'm a business too. I'm bringing in money. I'm a part of this. And you have to make decisions based off of you and what you need. You understand? Okay, but don't do that no more. Okay, I got another email. This one is good as hell, y'all. It says, "Hi, Brandi. Hello. How are y'all? I recently started a new job 6 months ago. To be honest, it's the best job I have had, but there's uncertainty about the company's future. I genuinely like my coworkers and love the work-life balance. Someone reached out to me from another company and has made me an offer about 10K more than what I make now and will set me and my family up for financial goals sooner. Do I risk leaving my current job and go to work for another company unknowingly if my work-life balance will be the same? But at the end of the day, my family will be more secure financially. What do I do?" This situation is not uncommon, okay? You just need to figure out what's more important to you right now. Is it the money or is it the peace of mind? And you don't know. You may actually receive both. I don't know if you applied for this position or if this is somebody that you know that kind of was like, I'm thinking of you in this position. I'm not sure how that went down. But if money is the most important thing right now, then absolutely, I would do it for real. I would do it without even blinking an eye. And on the flip side of that, the other reason why I would possibly take this position is because you have no idea what the hell is going on here. Clearly, there are some things that may have made you uncomfortable in the last 6 months about the trajectory of this company. So you don't know exactly where it's going. You've only been there a short amount of time, but there's enough information there that makes you feel uncomfortable and makes you not feel secure. So security is very important. And in order for you to be able to take care of your family, in order for you to be able to do what you need to do in your personal life, you need to have income. And if your income is threatened at this current place of employment, then the process of elimination is very simple. I will take the damn job, even if it's just a bridge, right? If it's just the bridge to your next like gainful employment where you have an awesome work environment, better salary or whatever, you really just don't really know. So I would pray about it. Okay. Pray about it and really tally up what's happening inside of the workplace. Now, you did not give me any examples of what's happening in your job that makes you feel insecure, because that's important. If it's healthcare, I can understand. Okay. All right. I understand. Is all I'm going to say, because it is very shaky right now in healthcare, especially everything that's happening with the current administration. So if that's the reason, or you feel like maybe layoffs are coming, I don't know what your position is. So you have way more information than what we have here. But just based off of your email, you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel secure, and you feel like maybe this is a better opportunity. Now, I want you to know that $10,000 on a salary is not $10,000. It's like five. So
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
is the work environment worth $5,000? Because that's really what you're going to be looking at. You're not going to get the full 10. Once taxes come through, your retirement, insurance, and all that stuff, it probably, you'll probably end up even, if anything, depending on how much your insurance and all that stuff costs. So I would weigh that, like, see if this situation is going on at work, because we don't know if it's a real issue, if it's something that's a real problem. And then I would also weigh out what that salary looks like and if it's really beneficial for you, because $10,000 is really not that much money. Not when you're talking about the payout, the taxes, and all that shit. Like a $10,000 increase, that is nothing. That is nothing. When you break it down like that, okay, you're gonna see about 5 of this pay increase, and depending on what your insurance look like, it could be even less. So I would weigh it like that. If it's a money issue, like, or a money concern, it does sound like it's a financial concern. So weigh out your options, review what's going on at this job, and see if that's something that works out. I mean, I would take it. If I'm that insecure about this job, I would absolutely take it, because you don't know what the hell is going on with this company either, sounds like. So I would. Okay. All right. Have a good ass start. Let's go to our next email. Okay. So our next email, it says, "Hi, Brandi. Hello. Am I the problem? Am I the drama? Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Please give your honest opinion about this, and can we use this for content, or it can be used for content if needed. Mind you, we work at a doctor's office, and with our company, we receive free visits. Every week, it's a different story. So let's see. Let me pick up my phone and see what the story is. This message says, "Hey, I might have to call out tomorrow. I have a really bad sinus infection again. I've been trying to work through this all week. It's hurting so bad. It's like pressure in my eye and behind my eyes." And it says, the person responding back says, "Your office may have to call blank, because I believe it is her birthday, unless we bring blank up. Give me a few moments. I'll make arrangements." Okay, thank you. I'll try to come in tomorrow, but if I start feeling horrible, can I leave? Have you been taking antibiotics? That's your first problem. That's your first problem. If they told you that they weren't coming in to work, okay, document. Okay, you don't need to know whether or not they've been taking antibiotics. So that's problem number one. And the conversation continues. If I start feeling horrible, can I leave early? Unfortunately, it's going to be a no. You're welcome to switch days, or if you can get blank to cover cover for you. We don't have enough manager coverage. If you would like to be off 3 Fridays, or you would have been off 3 Fridays in a row. Okay, that's the real problem. Okay. Then it says, I've only been off one Friday. This is a holiday. I can control that. And next Friday, I'm going out. You're correct. But last week you left early. Okay, but last week you left early on Thursday before your scheduled day off. And you're asking to do the same thing this week as well. If you're not satisfied with my answer, you're welcome to bring it to the next person in line. Right now, we don't have a manager to cover, which is why I suggested if blank could cover you. I believe I've offered reasonable options so we can find a solution. You can also switch one of your scheduled days off if that helps. So in your email, you articulated that this person is a problem. Okay. They done called out several times. It's an issue. You're kind of like over it. I do feel like when they messaged you and told you that they weren't feeling well, you should have just took that and at face value. And then if there is an issue with this person's attendance, then you should have just put it in a document. You don't need to know whether or not they're on antibiotics. You don't need to know what's wrong with them. You don't need to know whatever. And then they ask, could they leave early if they're feeling really bad? I actually would have said yes. Because number one, I don't want nobody working in the office that don't want to be there. Not with me. If your ass don't want to be at work, you are not going to get paid. I get paid no matter what. So if you don't want to be in the office, start managing that person out, because trying to get them to understand that this is your responsibility, this is the set time that you agreed to be at work, and they just are not doing it, they're not ever going to understand because they don't want to. They have no interest in understanding what you're saying. So stop trying to kind of block them from calling out. Let them call out and dig a deeper hole for themselves. I am not a fan of stopping people. If they want to fuck up their money, that's their business. Let them do it. Let them do it. And then let the higher up see that there is not any coverage because this person continues to call out. This person continues to cause the issue. We do not have any coverage because of this person. That way, when it's time for you to track their ass out, there's no fucking problem. Because this has happened consistently over the last few weeks. This has been the problem. Okay. Stop trying to stop these people from doing it. If they want to call out, let them. Okay. Let them. Documentation is your friend. Your company, I'm sure, has an attendance policy. Apply it. Apply it. I've been there too, where you trying to, like, girl, no, you trying to put extra on my plate. No, you want to call out? Go ahead. Okay. All right. Okay. That's exactly what I say. And then I just put a little note. Called out on 7/3. Called out on 7/7. Called out. Because I'm not here to stop you. I get paid no matter what. If you are not paying attention to what you are doing in your job and making sure that you are not in violation of the attendance policy, all my job is to let you know when you get close. You don't need to know whether or not she's taking antibiotics. That was very inappropriate for you to even ask that. Let her dig a hole. Okay? People who want to be at work, they're going to be at work. People who care about their money, they care about their money, and they're going to have their ass at their job. You cannot stop that. Let them do it. Let them. Because whatever happened after that, when people like me, senior management, find out, it's like, okay, this person ain't been here. This is what's going on. You've been documenting, and then documentation is on your side. Okay? So I don't know the other nature of your, issue with this person, but I do know that it seems like an attendance is an issue. If they don't want to be at work, don't push them. Don't make them, because all they're going to do is sit there and whine and complain about how sick they are and how this they are. Keep letting them miss days and fire their motherfucking ass. Just that simple. Let them miss days. let them miss time, and fire them. You understand? Say yes. Thank you very much. Have a good ass day. All right, guys. Today's episode, so much fun as always. Please make sure that if you are listening to this on Wednesday, you are 2 days late actually, because Patreon, they've been on this shit. They got a whole new episode inside of Patreon. So make sure you take your ass over there to that link. It is $6 to join. Remember, we go live twice a month. We're going to be going live on July 19th, which is a Saturday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you have something specific that you want me to talk about, if you have a concern, if you have like a situation going on inside of the workplace, send me an email. Let me know that you are a Patreon member, because those are the only emails that I read on those lives. So again, thank you for listening. Make sure you head over to Black Friday Podcast, because that is kind of connected to our Motivation Monday episode. I hope y'all have a good ass day, because I'm on my way to my motherfucking job too. And I hope that you go into work with the best possible mentality. Okay? Please make sure you are in a good headspace before you walk into the job. Also, for y'all who are in leadership, remember that documentation is on your side. You don't have to block people from making fucked up decisions. Let them do it. Let them fuck up, because it's a part of their origin story. They need to grow. They need to learn. And the only way that they're going to do that is by experience. Yes, it may irritate the fuck out of you, but you cannot wear that responsibility. You're going to have to take that off of you, because it's not your duty. Okay? Understand? Thank you. All right. Y'all have a good ass day, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/PODKATZ13. Just go to Indeed.com/PODKATZ13 right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.